What's up, guys? It's me, Shaquan Hurd again. I'm here, and this is just a very quick, very brief follow-up video from UFC 227 this past Saturday on August 4th. Today it is Monday, August 6th, and I'll get straight into it. This video will not be as long as my last one. I believe it was like 21 minutes or so. This one shouldn't be nearly as long. That being said, just go ahead and get straight into it. Went to B-Dubs, shout out to them this past weekend with the usual, my best friends, Usher Dickens, Tyler Curry, Brandon Amuale, shout out to those guys, too sweet. And UFC 227, the co-main and main event were phenomenal, both fights. In the main event, what can you say? Got to give it up to TJ Dillashaw. Came in there, first round knockout. Said he was gonna ruin Cody's career at 135. I don't think it's ruined, but I don't think we'll see that third fight. Cody Garbrandt did the same thing he did before. Came in very emotional, very angry, and he seemed to fight like it as if he was looking for the big one-punch first-round knockout. Backfired on him. TJ Dillashaw is always very calculated, very, very smart. Such a phenomenal fighter. And wasn't as kick-heavy this time, worked his boxing. Said that he noticed when Cody throws that right hook, he drops his left into the pocket to come back with it. Well, hey, as Mystic Mac Conor McGregor says, timing beats speed and precision beats power. Cody threw the right, TJ timed it, came back with his right hook as Cody's left hand was dropped into the pocket, exposing that chin. Knocked him out. It wasn't a flatline. He didn't flatline him. He just dropped him, rocked him a few times, followed up, got him out of there. That was that. Again, TJ said he was going to do it. He did it. Very phenomenal. I don't know if I have him as the greatest bantamweight of all time, but it's definitely a valid argument. The co-main, Henry Cejudo, DJ Demetrius Johnson, whatever you want to call him. Their rematch, it was a phenomenal fight. Start to finish. I had it 2-2 going into the fifth round, and Henry Cejudo won that fifth round and got probably the biggest upset in UFC history. Watching the fight, as soon as it was over, I looked at all my guys and told them I think Cejudo had it. But in the world of combat sports, when fighting a champion and you don't decisively beat that champion, it usually goes to the champion. We saw that with Dominic Cruz and TJ Dillashaw. Razor, like, that fight was so close. I personally feel like TJ won it, but it wasn't decisive enough. Dominic Cruz got the win. Although I do believe Dominic Cruz was the challenger in that fight. He'd been gone for a while and vacated his title. We saw it with, it's been a few times where that's happened, where we saw it with Valentina Shevchenko and Amanda Nunes, where Valentina may have won that fight, and it was said that she simply it wasn't decisive enough. So that's that. We saw it with JJ and Rose in their second fight. So you get the point. But although I did say I felt like Cejudo won that fight as soon as it was over, that was just kind of an instinctual thing. Now that I've had some time to process the fight and just replay it in my mind, maybe Cejudo shouldn't have won. He was losing the fight on the feet. He got some takedowns, but on some of them DJ got up immediately. And sometimes when DJ didn't get up immediately, Henry Cejudo just laid there and held him. There was no real ground and pound. He wasn't working submissions, wasn't transitioning at all. So took the guy down just to lay there because you were losing the fight on the feet. So maybe Henry Cejudo shouldn't have won. Now, DJ did say he's not healthy. Believe he tore his LCL and I think he said his right knee. And I saw a picture of his foot. It was pretty fat, very swollen from the kicks. So hopefully DJ's healthy soon and gets that immediate rematch. If anybody deserves it, he definitely does. Longest title defense streak in the UFC. Was the first ever before Saturday night, first and only ever flyweight champion in the UFC. Put a whole division on his back and carried the division while beating everybody in the division. So you can't deny the guy the rematch. That's really it. Switching gears from MMA to the NFL. I didn't watch the Hall of Fame ceremony. I was working, but I don't have much to say about it, is my point. But the little bit that I do want to mention is Terrell Owens not attending the ceremony in Canton. However, he did hold his own ceremony in Tennessee at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Now, I do realize I'm wearing this Chattanooga Wrestling Camp shirt. Wasn't planned, not intentional. I went to this wrestling camp some years ago. Great camp, great school. Shout out to those guys, the Mocs. Now, as an outsider looking in, I don't know T.O. personally, but he seems a bit sensitive. He seems like he takes things personally when he shouldn't. As far as him being held out of the Hall of Fame, should he have taken it personally? Apparently, yes, he should have. The reason I say that is because he and Randy Moss, their stats are right there with each other. They're 1A, 1B. You can't really put, based on the stats alone, you can't put one ahead of the other. And so it comes down to either the eye test or simply who do you like more as a person. And that was something Tyler and I and Usher and Brandon were talking about at B-Dubs, was who was the better receiver. And I was the only one that said, well, I wouldn't take Moss over T.O. And we pulled up the stats, and Tyler was a bit surprised at how identical they were almost. And T.O., whether he was a cancer in the locker room or a bad teammate or however people want to put it, that's not what the Hall of Fame is about. The Hall of Fame is, what do my stats and accolades and credentials say about me as a football player? And as a football player, he's a top 2 or top 3 rather receiver of all time if you're going by the numbers. With T.O., as he would say, get your popcorn ready. It's always going to be a show, and people knew that. You have to accept people for who they are. You can't try and handle somebody differently because you don't like them as a person. Because again, for T.O., I believe this was his third time is the charm apparently. But for Randy Moss, first ballot Hall of Fame. If we're going based on the stats, how can you have one as a first ballot and the other as it's his third try, you know? So I do understand T.O. not attending the ceremony in Canton. Could I say that's what I would have done? I don't know. Maybe if it were me, I would have just gone and acted like everything was okay, even though I felt it wasn't. Or I would have gone and made the Hall of Fame ceremony, the NFL, everything about me, since that if that was the picture that the media tried to paint of me, then I'd go to the Hall of Fame and then to the Hall of Fame ceremony as though everything was okay, and then throw it right back in their face like, well, since this is who you think I am, let me go ahead and do it just for my laughs, you know? But again, that's as an outsider looking in. I don't know if T.O. actually took it personally. I don't know how he actually felt about it. This is all speculation, of course. But that's really about it, guys. I'll have some predictions coming here soon. I'll try and stay on it, get these videos out more often. Like I said, I'm at a place now where I have the time and the desire to do that, so that's something I will work on, getting these videos out, predictions, recaps of sporting events, so on and so forth. That's just me and what I want to do with it. One thing I will say, I'm staying away from the LeBron James, Donald Trump thing. Not because I don't have an opinion, of course, or not because I don't want to share my opinion. If anybody wants to talk about it, again, my social networks will be in the description below. Twitter, well, I don't use Twitter that often. I don't even think I have the app on my phone. But maybe Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, anybody want to reach out to me, we can chop it up about it. I'll let you know exactly how I feel. You can chop it up with me down in the comments section below if you guys want, whatever. Maybe if this video gets a like or two, a comment or two, hey, I'm all for it. But the reason I'm not going to express my opinion on the LeBron James, Donald Trump segment is because what's understood does not have to be explained. And growing up, I was always taught, if you argue with a fool, that essentially makes you a fool. So there you guys have my opinion on that. I said I wasn't going to share it, but that's it. So you should be able to figure out exactly what I'm saying from there. Other than that, I believe that is it. I can't think of anything else right off that I'd like to discuss. Again, UFC 227, phenomenal card, and I can't wait for September 8th to link up with the same guys at B-Dubs and do it all again. Alright, you guys take care. Too sweet.